Welcome back to another video here on Studio Time. My name is Andrew Masters, and today we are going to have some fun and play around with the SPL Transient Designer. This is the Mark II of the, I guess you could call it a classic. It came out in the late 90s. It's great because it allows you to control two very important parts of sound. That is the attack and the sustain, independent of the level. So this version we're playing around with today is the TD4 Mark II. SPL sent it over so that we can play with it and make this video and have some fun, try it on some different sounds. Put a link to it down in the description. I was introduced to it when I worked at East West Studios in Los Angeles. I had seen people use it on mixes to exaggerate the attack, make things a little more punchy, sometimes on parallel tracks, usually on drums. I want to say most of the time I'd ever seen it used, it was on drums because it's such a monster of a tool to use on drums. But the moment that really struck me with this was when I was doing a session with Kurt Schneider, he was engineering, and Aaron Sterling on drums. It was just an amazing session. Drums were in the small booth at the far end of the Studio 2, which is a big drum room, but they left the doors wide open, and he put two big AEA 440s out in the live room, ran them through the Transient Designer, and pulled out the attack, or pulled down the attack of the transients and exaggerated the sustain. My mind was blown. It was like, holy cow, that is an unbelievable sound. I'm going to steal that move, and you should too, because it is so fun. Obviously, this is like any other piece of gear. When you figure out a cool thing that it does, you got to be careful to not overuse it and do it on everything, because obviously nothing works perfectly on everything, but it is a fun trick to be able to use on the right song. So with all that being said, I have my TD4 set up as a hardware insert right here at my desk so I can reach it and play around with it. I have it set up on some inputs and outputs so I can just drag it around and move it on different tracks in my session. So let's play around with it and hear this thing. Okay, so I've got a session pulled up here. First, I want to show you what I discovered, or I witnessed, with the Transient Designer on the room mics, because this is one of the more fun ways to use this thing. So we'll start on the hallway room mics. Let's listen to the drum kit just as is. So very clean performance, and if I take the room mics out, this is what it sounds like. Really cool, punchy, compressed, tight sound. So now let's add in this hall microphone. It's room mics out in a hallway. Let's see. I'm going to put the Transient Designer on there, and we're going to watch this drum kit just completely transform. Okay. So I'm going to come over here. We'll turn it on, and then we will link channels 1 and 2 together. So I can just adjust these two parameters here. I'm going to start by exaggerating the sustain. Immediately, a bigger room sound, way bigger room sound. Let's put it back. Pull it back out. Incredible, absolutely incredible. Okay, now you can get even crazier with it. Let's solo just the room mics here. By pulling out the attack. So this is just shaping the transient and pulling it way, way down. And we're exaggerate that sustain way more. Now let's bypass. Out. In. Out. Now check this out. You can actually, we'll go back to our normal setting here. Now pulling the sustain out like that actually makes the room sound way bigger than it is, but you can actually do the reverse. So if we pull the sustain down, this is just the room mics. All I do is pull the sustain down. Normal, down. And then you can pull, let's pull the attack up and hear it. It sounds like a close mic on the kit. These are out in the hall. Turn it off. So obviously an incredibly powerful tool just on that alone. Now you take that idea and then you move it over to the entire drum kit and do the same thing. Let's check this out. Sustain. It almost sounds like an old vinyl sample or something. Now let's do the opposite. Incredible. I'm going to say incredible 400 times. So cool. All right, let's do it with something. Let's do it with this shaker here. This might be interesting. Put it on. See how it does that? It makes it feels much more, well, I was going to say you can hear much more of the transient because the sustain's pulled way down. Exaggerates it, makes it real long. Feels kind of jangly and sloppy. Much tighter. So fun. All right, now let's do it with like a totally different instrument. Let's use a bass DI here. So this is long notes. Let's pull the attack up. The opposite. We'll be able to hear a much bigger difference here on the, let's pull up the attack. Pull down the sustain. So cool. Sounds like a muted bass part. Now, obviously you have 4 channels on this, so you can use this on up to 4 different things or in stereo mode as I'm using it now, linking it. Let's jump over to another great way to use this, which is on like kick and snare. Now I'm going to take it out of link mode while we do this. Let's listen to this kick drum. Pull the sustain out. It's incredible. So it totally changes changing the sound of this kick drum. Amazing. All right, let's jump over to the snare. So cool, super fun. Last little thing here we can try. Let's throw it on some toms. All right, let's jump to there's just about no fills in here except for in this one part. So let's go over here. Oh, this is gonna be fun. I'm actually gonna put it on link mode here. Okay, let's pull the sustain out. Let's pull the attack up. You can see immediately how you can get carried away because it's so much fun to use. So that's the Transient Designer. This is the Mark II version. The main difference you're seeing here is just a design. They just changed the faceplate from the original, but a lot of fun. Really, really love this unit. I can imagine using this on electronic music, on old samples, doing it in hip hop. I'm sure it's this thing you could, again, get really carried away with. I want to thank our friends at Sweetwater for sponsoring this video. If you guys want to go and check out, I have a link to it down in the description. Obviously, these are affiliate links. Sweetwater's been a big partner of mine here on this channel. It's a great way to support the channel so I can make more fun demo example videos like this with some of this fun gear that not all of us are able to get our hands on. So go check it out. Link to them down in the description. Also, if you're interested, go check out my website at andrewmastersmusic.com. Do a lot of consultations one-on-one with people who are setting up their studios. I do remote drum sessions, all sorts of stuff. Go check it out, andrewmastersmusic.com, and we'll see you in the next video.